Any petitions or correspondence, and you might just update council on the Ohio Sunshine Law.
Mr. President, first of all, I have received a notice from the Ohio Division of Liquor Control of the transfer of permits from Bijou Associates LLC, DBA Mona Lisa Cafe at 35 South Paint Street, to Bijou Associates LLC, DBA The Thirsty Fox at 31 South Paint Street. With reference to the open records law and the Ohio open meetings law, or otherwise known as the Sunshine Law, I did attend as the designee of all members of council and the president of council the update provided by the Ohio Attorney General's office last Tuesday, October 20th at Ohio University Chillicothe. Basically, the good news is that although I've passed out to you all of the copies of the discs that they provided of the Ohio Sunshine Law and the program, the computer program they presented, there's virtually been little change in the law since I saw most of you, if not all of you, attend the earlier session that was out at the National Guard seminar. But keep yourselves updated by reviewing those computer discs and the program that I distributed to you, and I think you'll be fine. You will get credit for attending through me as your designee. Once I get my certificate, then each of you can have a copy of that, along with a copy of a letter that says that I attended as your designee. And that's all I have, Mr. President.
Okay. And I would urge council members, if you haven't taken time to review that law, take time to review that to make sure that we're up to date. Basically, it just reminds you that primarily you cannot not have any private meeting as a council committee. All your meetings must be open to the public. The media, the public needs to be notified of all meetings. And I think you folks have done a fine job with that in this past year. We just want to continue to do that because we do represent the public. And we have no back room meetings, and I think you're all aware of that, even though we're accused of having those. But we have no back room meetings, and everything is open to the public, so the public can be aware of what actions this council takes. And just urge you to continue to be aware of that law and make sure you follow it in everything that you do. New business. Mrs. Malone.
Thank you, President Schultz. It's that time of year again, and I always get on my soapbox around this time when the leaves start falling. I respectfully request that all business owners, property owners downtown, please keep the leaves cleaned up. My husband and I yesterday bagged 6 huge bags of leaves, and we don't even have a tree. When we got streetscape, we did not get a tree, but we still get leaves. But it's difficult for the street sweeper, the leaf picker-upper, to get in when there's a lot of traffic, and hopefully there are a lot of people visiting our downtown. So I am respectfully again asking that all owners, business owners, property owners, whatever, to please try to stay on top of getting the leaves. And then if you call city services, we called them 8 o'clock this morning, and at 10 o'clock they were gone. They had picked them up. So please, again, try to keep the downtown cleaned up. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other new business? None? Okay. Committee assignments and meeting dates. Since our last meeting, we've had several committee assignments. Number 374, to finance to appropriate funding for transit projects to the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act of 2009. 375, engineering, to authorize administration to apply for the Issue 2 funding for the 2010 Street and Alley Improvement Program. 376, to finance to appropriate $33,089.73 to the Police Pension Fund. 377, Human Resources, to amend Ordinance 3-08 per the grant funding. 378, Finance, appropriate $1,023,660 for transit, to include $73,660 for software, computer software. and $950,000 to purchase buses. And I believe the bus money is grant money that's been awarded for that, which they normally receive. Number 379, to Safety Services, to amend ordinance banning discharge of firearms in the city to include longbows and crossbows. Number 380, to City Services, authorize no parking signs to be placed on the south side of Neal Avenue between Maple and Sugar Streets because of the narrowness of that street. Number 381, to finance appropriate funds for the jail prisoner expense and funds for new police officer uniforms and capital funds for a new officer's duty weapon. As far as meeting dates, there's no review session scheduled for next week. Our next regular scheduled meeting will be November 9th. Be our next regular legislative meeting. With that, gets us to legislation. Item number 1.
Third reading of an ordinance directing the Safety Service Director to advertise and take competitive bids for the purchase of the new dump truck, authorizing the mayor and the Safety Service Director to enter into a contract to purchase a dump truck, appropriating $99,888 towards said purchase, and declaring emergency. Third reading.
Okay. Roll call.
Trutchell.
Yes.
Prohl.
Yes.
Patrick.
Yes.
Malone.
Yes.
Lester.
Yes.
Henderson.
Yes.
Cross.
Yes.
Bonner.
Yes.
Ames.
Yes.
And that ordinance passed. Number 2.
Second reading of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to file an application for a grant through the Junior Civic League Christmas Tree Gala for $5,000 to accept said grant if awarded, and declaring emergency. Second reading.
Mr. Trutchell.
Thank you, President Schultz. For reasons stated in my report, I'd like to make a motion to waive the 3-read rule.
Okay, second by Mrs. Ames. Roll call on the motion.
Trutchell.
Yes.
Prohl.
Yes.
Patrick.
Yes.
Malone.
Yes.
Lester.
Yes.
Henderson.
Yes.
Cross.
Yes.
Bonner.
Yes.
Ames.
Yes.
And the motion passed. Roll call on the ordinance.
Trutchell.
Yes.
Prohl.
Yes.
Patrick.
Yes.
Malone.
Yes.
Lester.
Yes.
Henderson.
Yes.
Cross.
Yes.
Bonner.
Yes.
Ames.
Yes.
And the ordinance passed. Number 3.
Second reading of an ordinance amending section 3 of ordinance number 52-09 and declaring emergency. Second reading.
Number 4.
First reading of a resolution authorizing the appropriate city officials to apply for issue 2 grant funds for the year 2010 to be used for street construction, to accept grant funds if awarded, and declaring emergency. First reading.
Mrs. Malone.
Ask to waive the 3-read rule, please.
Second by Mrs. Patrick. Roll call on the motion.
Trutchell.
Yes.
Prohl.
Yes.
Patrick.
Yes.
Malone.
Yes.
Lester.
Yes.
Henderson.
Yes.
Cross.
Yes.
Bonner.
Yes.
Ames.
Yes.
And the motion passed. Roll call on the resolution.
Trutchell.
Yes.
Prohl.
Yes.
Patrick.
Yes.
Malone.
Yes.
Lester.
Yes.
Henderson.
Yes.
Cross.
Yes.
Bonner.
Yes.
Ames.
Yes.
And the resolution passed. Number 5.
First reading of a resolution authorizing the city to establish a joint recreation board with the Ross County Commissioners to operate and maintain the Donald F. Koppel Soccer Complex, and declaring emergency. First reading.
And number 6.
First reading of an ordinance consenting to the proposal submitted by the Ohio Department of Transportation to resurface a portion of US 50 beginning at the Chillicothe West Corporation limit east to State Route 104, authorizing the city engineer to enter into contracts to complete said project, and declaring emergency. First reading.
Okay. That does conclude our legislation this evening. Mrs. Ames.
I move to adjourn.
Second by Mrs. Malone. Roll call on adjournment.
Trutchell.
Yes.
Prohl.
Yes.
Patrick.
Yes.
Malone.
Yes.
Lester.
Yes.
Henderson.
Yes.
Cross.
Yes.
Bonner.
Yes.
Ames.
Yes.
We are adjourned. Thank you.
Gee.